I studied the different forms of sonnets and whatnot, and then I pushed myself to write a sonnet. Then I found myself writing a sonnet about racism again. And I was very proud of myself because I know I have words, I know I have thoughts, but then to be able to use a sophisticated form and still get my message and my fervor, my passion across, I was very proud of myself. My name is Raina, I'm 22, and I'm a young poet from Cambridgeshire with Kenyan heritage.
Welcome again to Conversations in Literature. My name is Eric Rogara. We are joined by Raina Muriithi, who is a young poet from Cambridgeshire, England. She writes about the world around her and how it interacts with her as a young black woman. So she's a poet. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, very well.
Good.
So say something about yourself, Kias.
Okay.
So that I can know who I'm talking to.
Okay, so I think because I'm so young and I haven't had many experiences in life, the biggest thing I've done so far is done a law degree. And then the second biggest thing was then to decide to come to Kenya and live here for a year and become a teacher. So it's about me. And then I write poems as well. And the poems are a byproduct of my emotions and my feelings and my anger at the world around me.
Where are you teaching?
So I was teaching at Braeburn Kitanga Road, and then now I look forward to starting my teacher training at the University of Cambridge in September. So yeah. So
you were a lawyer, now you're a teacher?
Yes.
Why? You don't want to be wakili?
No, I thought, there's two things. I loved learning law a lot more than I liked the idea of practicing law. And then I'd rather spend my time inspiring young people to be good people than to effectively babysit adults, because that's what lawyers do. They have to babysit adults and their drama. Yes, yeah.
I thought lawyers are supposed to save people from going to jail.
Not quite. Well, again, that's babysitting an adult, no?
Really?
Yes. Because you're like advising them and you're instructing them and what have you. I don't have the patience.
You want to babysit children?
Yes, because they're children, so they don't know.
Right.
The ufala is from like utoto. Yeah, it's not from stubbornness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you have some experience with law practice that made you cynical?
I think you read so many cases and you realize human nature has made any system of law very volatile, and there's always going to be injustice. And so if that's something that you can't get over, because you have to swallow that pill and just get on with it if you want to be a lawyer. And I couldn't. So I said, okay, let me go work with young people instead.
All right.
So yeah.
So you grew up in the UK?
Yes.
Which part of the UK?
So Cambridgeshire.
Where is that?
Which is it's like 2 hours away from London, east of England.
So it's in England?
Yes, yeah.
All right. Is it by the sea?
No, it's there's a lot of farm land integrated into the city. So you can be walking and you'll just see a cow. And it's just,
That's where you grew up?
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
You grew up in a farm?
No, I grew up in a village near the big farm that is Cambridge.
A village?
Yes, but it's not a village.
What's a UK village like?
A UK village has tarmac everywhere. There's normally like one primary school, one secondary school, one church, one supermarket.
Why one?
Because of how small the population is.
So there's no like competition? Like somebody thinks I want to start in Kenya, when you start a business and it does well, somebody else will start a similar business. That doesn't happen in the UK?
No, not really.
Why not? You guys are not competitive?
I think people are like, why do I need to start another supermarket when we already have one? Why do we need another one?
Really?
Yeah.
Because, it's like we need to make the money that guy is making.
No, people, I don't, attitudes to business and money are different. Yeah.
What's the attitude to business and money in the UK?
I think I think in Kenya, let me start with Kenya as a point of reference. It's a lot more. I think it's a lot more ambitious and a lot more creative. Yeah, I would say so. I think if I was talking to a young person,
you're telling us that we are more ambitious than our colonizers.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
From your experience.
From my experience and from what I've seen, yeah, definitely.
Is it okay? Interesting.
Yeah.
So the people there are more laid back.
I think so. I think there's a lot more creativity when it comes to business here in Kenya than in the UK.
What about in the arts? Creativity.
I think
in music and things like that. Culture. Literature.
It's weird because then I feel like the question then becomes about resources as opposed to and opportunities. I think there is more resources and opportunities outside of Kenya.
But what about creativity?
But the creativity Kenya has more, in my opinion. And that's some people would say I'm biased.
The music?
Oh, much better in Kenya.
Really?
In my opinion, yes.
Do you love Kenyan music?
I like to think I like Kenyan music.
What genres or artists do you love?
I love Sauti Sol, obviously. I feel like if you're Kenyan, you have to love Sauti Sol.
Sauti Sol, they split up, yeah?
They split up, but I got to see them just before they split. They went to the UK to perform like one last time, and I saw them, and I was like, oh my gosh, my life makes sense. So yeah, okay. I think for me personally, I like listening to the music that my parents listen to.
Oh,
so
really?
Issa,
you don't listen to drill?
Kali, huh?
Drill?
No, it's not my style. It's not my pace.
Okay.
No.
So you listen to Issa, Kali?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else.
These are very old people.
Very old, yes. Also Longombas.
Wow.
Yeah. I like that kind of. I like that era of Kenyan music.
What about the current era? You know, Wakadinali. You know, Brooklyn Boys.
I don't know. I couldn't say much.
You don't know any
much.
of those people?
Not really. The most recent one I know is
Nikita Kering.
Toxic, Kali and Backbenchers.
Oh, you
that's
know,
like my most up to date.
You know that song?
Yeah.
Do you know Angela?
Angela, no, I don't know Angela.
You know, it was a big hit.
No.
By Boutros.
No, I'm learning.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know this guy? Do you know Misogyny? By what's his name? Kagwe, somebody.
Chris Kagwe.
Mutahi Kagwe's son.
Oh,
I don't
Mutahi
remember.
Kagwe.
No, his son. I don't remember his name. Anaitwaje? I don't remember his name.
Okay. It's not familiar to me. No. Yeah.
Oh, you know Chris Kaiga?
I know Chris Kaiga, yes. Zime nice. Yeah, I know that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's called Shrap.
Okay. Yes.
Sheng Rap. Sheng Trap.
So Shrap.
Yeah, Shrap music.
Wow, Shrap. Okay.
Sheng Rap, Shrap.
Shrap. Yeah.
Do you know about Gengeton?
I know of it.
Abanton?
I know of it. I think my favorite thing about Urban Tone is how it's spelled. Because if you asked me to spell it, I'd have said URBAN.
Some do spell it that way.
But I like the other one, ARBAN. I'm like, oh, that's clever. I like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You don't know Nikita Kering?
I've heard of her. I know her song X because it was really popular on social media a while back. But I don't listen to her, no.
All right.
I know Maya Molo though.
Who?
Maya Molo.
Oh, Maya Molo.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I know her. Huh?
Octopizzo?
No.
Calligraph Jones?
Calligraph, who doesn't know Calligraph? Yeah, of course.
You know Calligraph.
Yeah. My dad met him actually.
All right. What about this girl who sang this song, Mwaki, Sophia Nzao? You don't know Mwaki? It was a huge international hit.
How does it go?
It's sung in Kikuyu. Something about, I don't remember how it's sung. It's sung in Kikuyu, but it's like idiom.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. You know
I can hear it in my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the EDM mix of the song because I like the original version.
There's an original version.
Is it not?
All I know is that she sold the vocals to some DJ called Zab.
Yeah.
And he made a song which became a hit.
Yeah.
All right. So you've established Kenyan music is better.
Yes.
But you're talking about Kenyan music from the 2000s.
Yes. Because that's all I know, and I can't speak on the other
songs. Then how do you know that Kenyan music is more creative?
Because it will always be more creative.
You've not listened to current music.
I think it's just the pride that I have in having Kenyan heritage.
All right. You're wearing the Kenyan bracelet?
Always. I've always, I think now for 6 years, I've worn one consecutively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where did you buy that?
Where?
In Kenya or in the UK?
In Kenya.
All right.
I couldn't tell you where. Probably one of the Maasai markets in one of the malls or something.
Do you visit Kenya often?
Yes, we visit on average at least once a year, but sometimes twice a year.
When did you first come to Kenya? In your memory?
In my memory...
And do you remember the experience?
Okay, my first time coming to Kenya, I was 4 months old.
Mm-hmm.
My earliest memory of Kenya, I was probably 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in Nanyuki, where my grandfather lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with my mom's youngest brother, so my uncle, and we were playing with matches. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my earliest memory of being in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then what are your early memories of childhood in Kenya?
In Kenya?
Versus in the UK?
I remember we came to Kenya, so my sister's first time to Kenya was in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we went to an animal orphanage, and there was a school visiting at the same day that we were there. And so my sister and I pushed all the way to go to the front so that we could see the animals. And then because there were so many kids and all of us were so excited, we're all pushed up against the fence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my earliest memory with my sister in Kenya. In the UK, it's different. I think a lot of the memories I have are a bit more negative because growing up in Cambridge, Cambridge is not diverse in any way, shape or form. London, there's black people, there's Indian people, there's Bangladeshi people. It's very diverse. So you don't feel isolated as a person of color in London, Manchester, Birmingham. Whereas in Cambridge, for a long time, we were like one of the only 5 black families in our village. Like, there was no other diversity. So a lot of negative experiences at school is what I remember in terms of growing up in the UK and being young, versus Kenya, where I have a lot more positive memories. Yeah.
What are the negative experiences?
Being called names, and then being picked on at school.
Are these racial names?
Yeah, they were racially motivated.
Not the N-word?
No. I don't even think I knew what that word was at that age when I was... Now I'm talking about maybe the age of 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even have known what that word was. But I remember...
You got subjected to names at 5 years old?
Yes, yeah.
By your age mates or older kids?
By my peers.
5-year-old kids?
Yeah, kids are mean. And the thing is, I think as I've gotten older, I've come to understand that sometimes, a lot of the times when kids say really mean things, especially when it comes to race, it's what they've learned from home. So they've heard it from home and then they come and regurgitate that at school. And obviously as a kid, you don't know what to not say from home in a public space. So you just say it. So yeah. Yeah.
So at what point do you realize what it means?
I think at the time you know it's hurtful, and then when you get older and you realize that there's this construct in the world called race, and you're on this side of that construct, you look back on it and you can look back on it with more experienced eyes or an experienced mind. And it makes it even more hurtful because it's like, oh, I didn't know that that's what was being said to me at the time. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Does the UK feel like home to you?
No. There's people that I love in the UK and I hold them dearly, but I wouldn't say the UK is home. Like, people always ask me if there was a world war and you had to fight for and the British Army or the Kenyan Army, if I had to choose, I'd choose the Kenyan Army because the UK, no, it's not home for me. Yeah.
How does it feel to be in the UK versus to be in Kenya now as an adult?
In Kenya, because everyone looks like me, I get to be invisible, so I get to be like everyone else, which you don't appreciate until you don't have that anymore, if that makes sense. And I know I have cousins for whom they're the ones who have moved to the UK or moved abroad from Kenya, and that's something that they struggle with, because when they're in Kenya, they're part of the majority and they look like everyone else. But now, when they go abroad, they find themselves as the only black person in a shop or the only black person at their place of work, and it's all of a sudden you have to deal with this thing that you didn't know was a thing, but everyone expects you to carry along with it.
Is the racism in Europe similar to the racism in the US?
I think it's more sinister in Europe.
How so?
Because Americans are, I think, a lot more vocal and charismatic than Europeans.
Charismatic?
Huh?
Charismatic?
Charismatic, yeah.
Really? How so?
Americans always have something to say about everything, and they feel the need to always express that, which I think is great, but that's not how they do things in Europe. Mm-hmm. In Europe, it's a lot more of, we can see it, but we're not going to say anything. And the reason why it's more sinister is because no one's necessarily said a word to you or said a phrase, and it's more in how they treat you and how they interact with you, which makes it so much more difficult to label, to identify, and to call out. And then everyone, yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. It's a lot more. It's more sinister and more covert. Yeah, but it's just as potent and present. Yeah.
What about now with the rise of fascism? Do I have
thoughts?
Is it something that has affected you?
Yeah, it's one of the key reasons why I definitely don't want to live in Europe.
What have you noticed? Like, there's what we read in the papers, but mm-hmm. How is it on the ground?
It's interesting because you can assume that these views are being held by old people, but it's a lot of young people that share in these views, mm-hmm. Specifically young men, so Gen Z men, a lot. They hold on to those views.
Radicalized online?
Yes, and the thing is, the way those views are packaged, you if you were them, you'd also fall for it in a way, because it's packaged as okay, we're in an economic crisis right now, and the reason why we're in an economic crisis is because the immigrants keep coming to take the jobs. And it's like, no, we're in an economic crisis because as the government, you're mismanaging the country. And so those who are different are the scapegoats of the situation, and so they then become the targets. And even most recently, we had, in the summer of 2024, we had a lot of riots, and basically whereby people would come and congregate, and they'd congregate in towns and whatnot and say English for England, for English people, and they'd just spew a lot of hatred towards people that weren't white. And the thing that instigated it was there was a stabbing that happened in Wales, I think, or in the southwest of England, and the person who was a perpetrator was a person of color, and so that just set off like a huge uproar about everything. And fortunately, I was not in the UK for a lot of that summer. I was elsewhere, but I remember coming back and feeling so on edge, so tense. And even more recently, there was people put up English flags to sort of claim territory. So you can sometimes go to a specific town or village and there's loads of English flags everywhere. And with just looking at it, you'd think, okay, these people are just proud to be English, which is perfectly fine. But against the backdrop and the context of race relations in the UK, it's not just, I'm proud to be British. It's, this is England, get out of my country. That's what you know when you see a flag.
So this is only in England, not in Wales and Scotland?
I can't speak for those nations. I think Scotland really just wants to be free from England, if I'm honest.
They don't have what do you call it, a fascist movement in Scotland?
Not to my knowledge. I think the main thing in Scotland is independence from the UK, if that makes sense. So I don't know where race relation fits in terms of Scotland and their priorities and what's on their plate. Yeah.
Did you watch Adolescence? The BBC movie.
I didn't,
series.
but I heard of it, yes. And Red Pill Media and it's not socialization, it's, you said it already, radicalisation.
Radicalisation.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I like my mental health.
Because I know Andrew Tate is from the UK.
He has a big presence. So before he became Trump adjacent on social media, he was a boxer. So and MMA fighting. So that's how he became like a mini celebrity, if that makes sense.
In the UK?
At the UK scene, kind of, yeah. And then now he was like a micro celebrity. He then like started using his platform to express his views and whatnot. So yeah. And Andrew Tate has a stronghold on a lot of people in the UK. So yeah.
Of all ages?
I would say so.
Or mostly Gen Z men?
Of all ages.
All right.
Yeah. But it's particularly, I think because I'm Gen Z, it's worrying that you'd think our generation would be the most open-minded and most progressive, but there's a good number of people that are...
How has that affected the dating scene in the UK?
I wouldn't know. I don't date, so I wouldn't know. I really just stick to myself and my friends.
Well, based on what people are saying in the grapevine.
I think Gen Z men are finding solace within Red Pill Media because they've heard rhetoric from the generations before them of how feminism is just ruining everything for them from their perspective. And so for them it's like, well, yeah, of course I support Andrew Tate because women are going too far or whatever. So I don't think the rising trend of Gen Z men liking Red Pill Media just came out of nowhere. I think the previous generations had a part to play, and I don't think they would ever admit it though. So yeah.
Online or even at home?
What do you mean?
You know, when you say previous generations had a role to play, do you mean people like Andrew Tate who are online, or do you mean their parents at home?
I think online. I'm talking about online and media in general, in terms of movies that they watch, TV shows, or even the social media accounts that they follow and whatnot. Because Andrew Tate's not the first person to talk about things like this. He's just perhaps one of the most popular at present. But there's always been such rhetoric. And you also, yeah.
All right. So, how does it feel to be, you're a woman and you're black and you're in the UK in that cauldron of these two things?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
A lot of days I really just don't want to be there. I think it really motivated my move to Kenya. And I think by the time I was coming to Kenya, I just had so much, I guess, psycho-emotional fatigue of constantly being there in that environment and constantly having to prove my personhood. And so for me, I didn't like it, so I left. And I had the privilege to leave as well, because a lot of people, it's not that they stay because they enjoy being there. For a lot of people, they've worked so hard to get there. Leaving is not a fathomable option. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about that you'll have to go back soon?
I'm trying really hard to safeguard my joy and happiness by setting up things that I'll look forward to. So going to festivals with friends, looking forward to coming back to Kenya. So planning times to come back to Kenya. And just sincerely taking it a day at a time, because I know myself, I like to plan, and I love to plan every single second of every single day. And I'm reminding myself that you can't do that. You have to live life and just take what life gives you.
So you have a poem published in this book.
Yes.
So 2 poems actually. Could you read this poem?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Shocking or appalling? Okay. Was it shocking or appalling? What's the bloody difference? I'm sure you're wondering. Well, seeing as I'm taking the time to tell the story, allow me to set it out in the open plainly. You see, if it was shocking, that would mean it came out of the blue, a complete surprise. I would never in a million years have guessed that I would hear those words with my ears, nor witness the event with my eyes. Shocking implies that this kind of thing cannot be reasonably anticipated. Shocking assumes that we all believe in Black Lives Matter, have red bell hooks. Shocking prescribes that we are all woke, or in other words, educated. On the other hand, appalling seems more accurate and fair. The event could have occurred last week or even have happened tomorrow, and I would not have been there. To say it was appalling is the correct descriptor because as a person with a target on their back, I cannot apprehend a potential aggressor. It is appalling because it could happen to her, him, them, or me. Appalling highlights that my safety is not guaranteed. Appalling reminds us that bigotry has not magically disappeared. Appalling says that people like me live through each day in defiance of fear.
Right. So what event were you writing about in this poem?
So I wrote that poem in my third year of university in the second half of the year. I think around springtime, so February, March, April, kind of. And what triggered me to write the poem was I think I was just walking around and just the shops and you see newspapers laid out, and there was a newspaper article that said shocking incident of racism happening in York, which was the city that I studied in for uni. And in my head I was like, for goodness sake, it's not shocking. It's shocking, like why are we using the language that we use has meaning, and there's a reason why you're saying shocking. It's because in your world, in your head, racism is like a unicorn. It's like it's something that other people talk about and it's not real, it's not tangible. So I got so fed up and I went home and I wrote the poem. I was just like, shocking or appalling? Appalling is the word you should use because you're disapproving of it, but you're not surprised that it actually happened. And then I kid you not, literally a week later, I was out with my friends and we had gone for some drinks and my friend was attacked. And the guy, what happened was, there was a guy who, if you know Snapchat, if you take a picture, you can like write text. So he wrote racial slurs on his phone and then showed it to my friend. And she...
Why?
Like, I don't know.
So your friend is black?
Yes. So she's mixed race.
All right.
And he showed it to her and she like pushed him away or whatever. And then when we were leaving, he had followed us with a glass full of water like this, an actual glass. And he shouted something, I can't remember what it was, but he shouted something and he threw it at her head and she was cut here and here. And the glass smashed and it was all happened like a lot. Like we called the police, we called the ambulance. He ran away, but then the bouncer from the club had seen what happened. So he followed and he managed to find the guy and got him back. And the police arrested him. I remember giving my details for, witness statement and whatnot, but and then when that happened, I was like, yeah, this is why shocking is not the word you should use. Appalling is the word you should use. You can't, I think I was so fed up of the language that was used and is being used to talk about racism and discrimination and hate crimes. So yeah, you can tell I'm very passionate about that poem. And I remember performing it at a showcase that we had at our university. And whenever I perform, I always encourage people to engage. So I tell them to click, to snap if they like what they hear. And when I was performing that particular poem, I had a lot of snaps. And people came up to me afterwards and they were like, yeah, you're right. I've never thought of it like that. Like we should stop saying shocking. It's appalling. And the language that we use, it means something, and there's a reason why we use different, that they purposefully use different language. Yeah.
The UK media is famously racist.
Yeah. Meghan
Yeah.
Markle.
I think way more than even the US media.
I feel like it's not helpful to say more than or less than. Do you know what I mean?
But it is true. It is.
No, but
it is openly racist. Like when you talk about the Daily Mail.
Yes.
Yeah, I clocked this when DMX died. The Prince also died. What's his name?
You
Prince,
mean the Queen Consort, Prince?
Yeah. King Consort, Queen Consort, or what do you call him?
The Queen's husband.
Yes. The Prince.
Yeah.
Prince who?
I can't remember his name.
Really? So
Philip.
Yes. So the Daily Mail had this as the headline. So it had a split headline or a split, what do you call it? Front page.
Yeah.
So on the left you have DMX.
Yeah.
With his small headline. And you have the Prince on the right with his small headline.
Yeah.
So on one side it's for the Prince, it is beloved royal passes on.
Yeah, which is like
For DMX, it's brilliant, but troubled rapper dies.
Yeah.
So the royal is beloved. The rapper
is brilliant but troubled.
Is troubled. Anything that comes after but is not important.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the rapper is troubled. The Prince passed on. The rapper died.
Yeah.
Like, why did they write it differently like that?
And the thing is, the problem with the UK is if you communicated what you've just said in terms of the language that's being used between these two individuals, people would then gaslight you and say that, no, you're just looking for trouble, you're just playing the race card. And it's like, no, this is, like, guys, we're all seeing this, no? I think that's what adds to the isolation that you can feel. It's the undermining of your experience or the undermining of your, because it's not an opinion, is it? It's undermining of your perspective of what's happening or has happened. Yeah.
All right. So you do write about this sort of stuff?
Yeah. A lot of the things I write about. And actually the last year I pushed myself to try to expand the forms of poetry that I use. And I thought to myself, okay, sonnets. Sonnets are like the most, like, if you write a sonnet, it's like, you're like Shakespeare, you're like Petrarch. And so I studied the different forms of sonnets and whatnot, and then I pushed myself to write a sonnet. Then I found myself writing a sonnet about racism again. And I was very proud of myself because I know I have words, I know I have thoughts, but then to be able to use a sophisticated form and still get my message and my ferv, my passion across, I was very proud of myself. Very, very proud. So yeah.
Sonnet.
Yeah.
What's the form of the sonnet? What are the rules? The rules, yeah.
Okay, so in general, a sonnet is so 2 sets of quatrains, so 2 sets of 4 lines, and then 2 lines at the bottom. With some sonnets, when it gets to the 9th line, there's a volta, which is basically like a change in theme or mood or tone. And it normally follows the rhyme scheme of, it depends, but it can be A, B, B, A, or A, B, A, B. But basically the quatrains need to have a similar rhyme scheme, and then the last 2 lines rhyme with each other, and they don't rhyme with anything else in the poem. Yes.
Sounds old school.
It's very old school. And then the main thing with the sonnet, is iambic pentameter. So it has to be 10 syllables in each line. Can't have more, can't have less. So you really have to think about the words that you're using, and how to fit your message into the form.
And Shakespeare did this even in his plays, the iambic pentameter.
Yeah.
Which is impressive, eh? Is it that once you get used to it, you naturally think in iambic pentameter?
I think when you're, because sometimes, like, as a writer, you sit down and you're like, okay, today I'm writing, this is what I'm doing. So when you're in that sort of study mode, everything that you think of, you do end up thinking in 10 syllables, and it becomes easier the more you do it. But then when you come out of that work zone, it's like, it's just...
This has happened for you?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Have you published any of these sonnets?
No, but I did submit one recently, and fingers crossed it gets somewhere. It gets to at least the long list, and then hopefully the short list, and then hopefully being published. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to jinx it, but I literally submitted it over the weekend, and I'm very excited about it.
So among the things you said your work is about, you talk about neurodivergence.
Yeah. So when I was in my first year of university, I suspected that I might have autism. And I wanted to get diagnosed because my main thing was that I wanted actual support from the uni in terms of extension for deadlines, a study mentor, so more for my academics and for studying. In terms of living life and doing day-to-day things, I was fine, but it was studying that was a really big obstacle. And the process of saying, okay, I want to get diagnosed, to finally getting the diagnosis was so turbulent and so emotional. I wrote so many poems in that time, and poetry is how I coped with it. So whenever I felt like no one understands me and I don't know what the hell is going on and I'm really frustrated and I don't know all these things, I'd sit down and I'd write a poem based on how I felt in the moment. And I've never submitted those poems to be published yet, but I think when I'm older, maybe I will compile all those poems and publish them as sort of like a
chapbook.
Yeah.
What made you think you are autistic? Like, what did you notice? Like, what were you struggling with?
For me, the main thing is reading. So specifically comprehension. It takes me many times to.
Is that more like
to read.
dyslexic?
No, because I see the words as typically, but it's understanding those words, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's called hyperlexia.
All right. Were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed.
So is it autistic?
Is what autistic?
Was it autism?
It was in the
spectrum.
It was in the sense that I thought it was. Because as you said, it's a spectrum. And also I think what's diagnosis is really difficult if you're not white and if you're not a boy, because that's what when whoever was first discovering what autism was and putting a label on it, they were only studying white boys. And so even when it comes to diagnosis, they're looking for the traits in a certain way. And so because I'm not white, I'm not a boy, and also by the time I was being diagnosed, I was 19. So all the traits that you'd think, I've already learned how to mask them, and I've already learned how to survive despite the symptoms. And so I'm sure you wouldn't have thought that I was neurodivergent or autistic.
No.
But that's one of the things that frustrated me a lot, is that I have this thing and
you don't present that way.
Pardon?
Like, you were frustrated because you don't present
that way, and then I was worried that I wouldn't get the diagnosis, because it's like I need this diagnosis so I can get the support that I need from university. But because I was scared that I'm not the textbook list of characteristics that they're looking for.
You call it hyperlexia?
Hyperlexia. That's the specific. It's the word used to describe difficulty with reading comprehension. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you read?
How do I read?
Because as a writer, I know you read.
Yeah.
Do you use audiobooks? Mostly?
No, I don't. It's really interesting. I think for me, how do I read? I read what I've been made to read, i.e., I did English literature for A levels. So those books, I absolutely love them, and I've read them again and again and again. I think because I had to read them for school, we would read and then we'd go to school to discuss it. So I was able to understand what I was reading, and so because I have that understanding, I just read the same thing over and over. I try to read things. So I also read Sophie Kinsella, so chick lit a lot, because it's similar to a rom-com, so I can easily envision what is happening in the story, because I've seen a rom-com before, so it's the same thing in a book. And I really, really like, if I'm reading something and there's a TV adaptation of it, I like reading it and then seeing the TV adaptation, because it's almost like seeing what the director interpreted from the book. And I don't take it as Bible, but I just appreciate it for what it is. So I use other things to help me understand what it is I'm reading. But I don't do audiobooks, because I can't sit there and just listen. Because I feel like listening to an audiobook is, to me, it's like listening to music or to a podcast. And so I'd want to be doing something else. But then the point of it is to listen and to take in the story. So it wouldn't work for me, I don't think. Yeah.
All right. So does this affect your studying?
Yes. Yeah.
You study slow?
I need more time to think, and so to think about what I'm reading. So practically what that looked like is I'd get 25% extra time from the submission date.
During exams?
During exams, yeah. So fortunately, in my law degree, we never had any sit-down exams. It was all coursework. So I'd have an extra deadline of like 5 days or 10 days, depending on how difficult I was finding the task. Yeah. And then I'd also have a study mentor. So it was someone that I'd meet with one-to-one, and we would... It's hard to explain. I didn't cheat or anything, but we'd sit and she'd help me brainstorm and collect my ideas, and then she'd help me proofread my work. So if I thought, and not necessarily for punctuation and grammar and things like that, no. It's that my worry was that because I struggle with reading and understanding what people have said, I worry that people would not understand what I'm saying when they read my work. So we'd sit and I'd ask her, what did you get from what I've read? And if what she said was what I had in my mind, I'd be like, okay, cool, can go on to the next one. Yeah, especially for my dissertation. Yeah.
So you've been in Kenya for a year now?
I've been in Kenya since August of 2025.
Right.
So 9 months.
All right.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you came back?
I was excited because I had no expectations, and was excited for the people that I would meet.
I mean, on the backdrop of the summer you described in the UK.
I was, in terms of how I felt about leaving the UK behind.
Yeah, you said there was that whole the marching, the flags, the attacks.
I felt like I could breathe, quite frankly. I think that's the best way to describe it. I felt like I could.
So the moment the plane landed and you came out?
Not necessarily.
you kissed you kissed the ground, the runway. Hakuna Matata.
I think I didn't feel like that, only because when I first came in August, I was with my family. I was still with my family, so my family left and I finally settled in, and then the thing about the flags was happening in the UK, because I was in touch with my friends from uni, and I'd ask them, are you okay? How are you doing? And they'd say, there's so many flags, or some of them would say, the council has finally gotten ladders and gotten people to come and take down the flags. I'd feel very relieved that I was here on this side of the world when all of that was happening over there. And I felt I could breathe. I could genuinely breathe. Yeah.
All right. Have you made friends in Kenya?
Yeah, I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have. Some of them will just be for this season, but a lot of them will be for life. A lot of my friends in Kenya are all older than me. I only have one Gen Z friend. That's not my cousin, if that makes sense. Like, not someone that I'm already related to. And I think it's really interesting that I've been able to connect with people that have lived so many experiences before I have. And that we're genuinely friends, and we pour into each other. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you've been teaching for the last 9 months?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say 8.
How is that? How is the experience for you?
It's been so dynamic and interesting. There's never a boring moment when you're working with kids.
How old are these kids?
The kids are 12 to 18, so 13 to 18,
All right.
that age range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's had its challenges, definitely. But I appreciate every single challenge because I didn't know what teaching would be like before I came here. And that's why I came here, because I didn't have any experience. And I already know what the challenges are in terms of being a lawyer and practicing law. And because I knew what those challenges were, I didn't want to do it. But that's different with teaching, because teaching, I want to be a teacher, and in spite of the challenges, I still want to be a teacher. So yeah.
What subject do you teach?
So in this most recent experience, I've been teaching English literature and sociology. But in September, I'll be doing teacher training to be a secondary school English teacher. So English language and English literature. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you want to dedicate your life to teaching?
No. I don't do anything permanently. I do things for a period of time.
For the plot.
Basically, yes. I think because my goal for at least the next 15 years is to travel, and they need teachers everywhere. So why not become a teacher so I can travel? Yeah.
All right. So you don't want to live in the UK?
No.
When you leave the UK, you go back?
I guess that's where, because my sister's going to university.
Do you ever miss the UK when you're away? Like,
yes, of course. There's things I miss. Do
you miss the food?
No. I'm gonna say no.
What's UK food like?
It's very bland compared to...
What's the staple food?
Potatoes.
Potatoes?
Yeah. Because you have mashed potatoes, you have chips.
The Kikuyus.
The Kikuyus, yeah. I think, yeah.
It's colonization.
I guess so. Because there's mashed potato, there's chips, there's shepherd's pie, which is potato on top. There's roast potatoes. There's potatoes everywhere, but not as much as the Dutch, I will say. Because I went to Amsterdam when I was 20. I went with my friends, and we were shocked at how much they love potatoes as people that had grown up in the UK. So the Dutch definitely win the potato thing, but other things like baked beans on toast.
Baked beans on toast. All right. How does that look like?
So.
How is it made?
So you have bread. It sounds so pedantic, but it's true. You have bread, you put it in the toaster, and then you have your baked beans. Now you can either use a microwave or you can use a stove, and you put it in a pan. You just heat up the beans, and you get your bread, you put butter on top, and you put beans, and you eat it. Beans on toast.
Beans on toast. I think there's a drill song, Beans on Toast.
Beans on toast.
All right, so is that delicious?
In my opinion, it is. I think in my friendship group, I'm the only person who will say that I'm happy to eat British food. Everyone else, if they're given the option, they would not eat British food.
The rest are not, they are not from the UK per se, they are from other countries?
Most of my friends are like me, we have dual heritage, so we are British in a sense, but we have other heritage. So I have one friend who's Sudanese, another friend who's Nigerian, British, another friend who's Kenyan-British like myself. But they're all happy to like critique English food. I will personally eat it because I don't mind I don't mind having not lots of flavor in food. I think that's the main thing.
Do you think you guys would be friends if you are not in a country where you are isolated because you are not from the UK in terms of color?
I think...
Is it the diaspora-ness of it that makes you friends?
I think it fortifies the friendship. Because we are friends, we have a lot of similarities in terms of interests, hobbies, music, whatnot. And then because we are all diasporan, we can see each other in our hurt and in our pain, and we support each other through that. So yeah, because I think the reason why we mustn't conflate. Let me put it like this: at university, we had a Afro-Caribbean society, and which was basically similar to like American Black students' unions. So it was if you're Black, you can join the society so that you can have community. And within that society, people were not friends. Certainly not, because it's like it's different to like a computing society where you join that society because you have an interest and you all have a shared hobby. But with this society, we're all there because it's like characteristic based on something that we didn't choose. You didn't sign up for, if that makes sense. So it is. I think that was the space that I learned that skinfolk is not kinfolk, which is what my friend always reminds me. And yes, a lot. You might get along well with a lot of other people of color, but don't always assume that all people of color, you'll always get along with everyone, because there's even differences between people of color. So yeah.
So it's not common to have mixed friend groups where it's Black people and white people?
I think there are some people that do have those kind of friendship groups, but I think what is the basis of your friendship is the starting point, and then how do you support each other?
Is it harder in the UK for Black and white to be friends?
Depends what level of friendship you want to have. If you want to have a surface level friendship where you just go out and you're like socializing,
a real friendship.
A real friendship, you'll hit a lot of potholes that you then need to figure out how you're going to change the tire and continue with the friendship. And a lot of people, they don't.
Like what?
I think, so for example, what I was saying about being gaslit and undermined about your experiences.
Microaggressions?
Not necessarily. So having experienced a microaggression, you now go and tell your friend, and your friend is telling you, oh, but it's not that deep.
Oh, all right.
And it's like, but that really hurt you.
Isn't that a microaggression as well? Gaslighting?
I don't know. I think for me, in my experiences, the microaggression has come before the gaslighting. So by the time someone's gaslighting me, I don't see that as a microaggression as well in and of itself.
All right. But it's racist as well.
It stems from a lack of education around racism.
Or it could stem from defensiveness.
Yes, and not wanting to be called a racist. Yeah.
It's like if you attack one white person, you attack them all, including your friend. And this is the thing.
So white people struggle to delineate themselves from others, if that makes sense. So they'll feel that if you say person X is racist, it's like you're calling all white people racist, whereas they don't have the discernment to realize that's not what I've said and that's not what I am saying. And they get sensitive. And I think if they just got discernment, they would save themselves a lot of crying. So yeah.
So you perform poetry as well? Not just writing it, you also perform it?
I also perform, yes.
When did you start performing poetry? What made you want to perform poetry?
So when I was in 6th form, so year 12, so I was 17 at the time, and I was 18. One of the two. We, again, grew up in Cambridge, not a lot of diversity. So our 6th form college wanted to have a cultural day. And so the idea was you come dressed in cultural attire and you also bring a dish.
Is Cambridge where Oxford is?
No, Cambridge and Oxford are 3 hours away from each other. So London is here, Oxford is here, Cambridge is here.
All right.
So it's like opposite ends.
Oh,
Yeah. Although Oxford is slightly closer to London, I think. I don't know.
All right.
So you bring your own food. So you bring food from your culture, wear your clothes, and then also going to be performances. And I think because I was part of the ACS, Afro-Caribbean Society, at my sixth form, I think each like cultural society was encouraged to have at least one performance to represent them. So I put myself forward to do poetry. And at the time I'd written a poem called But You See, That's the Problem. And it was about how Black people in the UK are conflated with each other by white people, and the ignorance that white people have in interacting with Black people. And the poem was very much call and response, and it was a play on a lot of stereotypes and things that are said. So, for example, people think that Africa is a country, and they think that everyone wears like linen, and everyone just has giraffes and monkeys and elephants in their backyards. They think that everyone lives in mud huts. It's a very, very restrictive and very, in my opinion, insulting view of the continent at large. And then on top of that, they then think that all Black people are the same. And that's really, it's wrong specifically for the UK, because there's a very big Black Caribbean community and presence in the UK. And so, they think Black people speak Jamaican, and it's like, that's not a thing. And then when you try to correct them, they're like, no, but you're all the same. So why are you getting offended? Why are you feeling upset about it? So that's what the poem was about. I don't have a written transcript of the poem, but I do have a video of it. And that was the first time I performed it. I wore a kitenge off the shoulder blouse, and my hair was in Bantu knots. And it was a very, very brave moment for me. And I'll always hold that in good memory. So yeah, that was the first time I performed poetry. Yeah.
All right. Do you ever get backlash for performing your poetry? For its themes that may not be so popular in the UK?
I think no one has ever said it to me, or I've never been the first degree hearer of any criticism. But I think in my head, because I know the environment that I was in, I know there is criticism. So I'm also very picky with the places that I perform, because I'm not trying to be a martyr for anything or for anyone. So I would perform in spaces specifically created for that kind of poetry and for that message. Yeah.
What do you mean specific spaces?
So
what does that mean?
Specifically, like if there's a cultural showcase, or if there's a BAME stands for Black, Asian, Minority Ethnicity showcase, at university, at school, or whatever, as opposed to if there was just a poetry night, I would be more hesitant to perform in such a space, as opposed to something that's specifically for Black and Asian people to go and perform and to go and share their art and creativity. Because I don't need the criticism. I don't think so. I think that's literally what I'm talking about, and it's like, I don't need to put myself in the den of lions. Yeah, it's not necessary.
Will you keep writing poetry?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I don't have a journal, and I've also recently gotten rid of social media, so I think poetry will be like the timestamps of my life, and it'll be fun to look back on in 10 years' time.
Do you write to publish or to write?
I write to write. Yeah, I think there are some poems that I do write with the intention of sharing with everyone, like Shocking or Appalling, the one I read earlier. Because that one is like, I'm telling you guys a message, you need to listen to what I'm saying. But for example, the poems about being neurodivergent, those are writing to write and writing to cope with life. So they're more it's like a more personal objective with those ones. Yeah.
All right. Short stories?
I'd be open to it. I recently reread Chimamanda's The Thing Around Your Neck. I read it when I was younger, but I reread it recently. And I was like, you know what? I think I could push myself to go more than 10 lines of writing and to write a short story. The only issue is I struggle with being imaginative and creative. And so I think having the longevity to actually write like beginning, middle, end, I'd struggle. But short stories don't have to be beginning, middle, end. They can be a snapshot into someone's life, and then just that's what it is. So I think I might, if I get confident enough, I'll push myself. Yeah.
What do you think of her recent book? Did you read it?
No, I haven't read it yet. Have you read it?
No.
No.
But I was curious because, you're talking about, okay, what about Americana?
Read it when I was younger.
Do you relate to it?
I loved it. I loved it so much.
As a diasporian?
Yeah. And I think it helped me put into words so many things, so many emotions that I'd felt. Granted, I'm 1 degree removed from the protagonists of the story, in the sense of my parents are the ones who hustled to leave Kenya to move to the UK. So there is still that bit of distance and disconnect. But I really loved it because I was like, finally, but there's this piece of literature that I can use as a reference point for the people in the UK, because I don't think the concept of being diasporan is foreign to Kenyans, Tanzanians, anyone who's not from the West. And then I remember writing my personal statement to go to sixth form college, and I talked about Americana in my personal statement, and the person who interviewed me for the college that I then went to asked me about it. And I was like, okay, I finally get to tell this person about Americanization and Westernization and all these different things and how it impacts young people like myself. So yeah, Americana, love that book. Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have something more to tell us?
No.
Do you have a story?
A story?
Something you need to get off your chest?
No, I don't think I have any stories necessarily. No.
Something you need to get off your chest. A warning, a perspective, what have you? A parting shot. A memorized poem, favorite of yours. Could be you've written it, could be you've read it. Or a quote.
So many options, I'm trying to choose one. I think my one thing, a key mental milestone, was when I was in second year at university, and my friend invited me to go to this showcase. She does theatre and drama, so she was organizing so many things, and it was done by the creative arts department at the university. So it was a mixture of different disciplines. So I had gone to see her directorial debut of, Macbeth reimagined, but there was another performer there, and he was sharing poetry, and I at the time I was like, what do you mean you're sharing your poetry? This was before I started performing my own poems. And he said, before he started reading, he said, I hope that as you listen to my words, you see pieces of your mind in my words. In my head, I was like, that's interesting.
Snap.
Yeah, snap. Although it was a white guy, I don't think he would have understood what the importance of snapping. But that has always stuck with me, because I think as much as you can say that you write just for the sake of writing, or you write for yourself, there is a little bit of you as a writer that's hoping that somebody somewhere will read this and connect with it and really feel strongly about it, and really appreciate that you were courageous enough to put those words out there and attach your name to those words. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is, yeah.
All right, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
And best of all wishes.
Thank you.
In your future endeavors.
Thank you.
As you go back to the UK.
Yep. Thank you. I'll need it. I'll take the luck. I'll take all I can get. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could, you say you will travel the world, so it's a whole map. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of places to go.
Are you glad you're not in the UK right now during this war?
Yes, but also I think the UK is kept out of it quite well. I don't think they're at anywhere near as of a risk as Americans are.
True.
Yeah.
Are Americans at risk? They're so far away.
You never know with world leaders. Power gets to you. Yeah. Power gets to your head. So
there's 9/11, of course.
Yeah, there's
and suicide bombers.
And if not, nowadays it doesn't have to be a physical in-person attack. It could also be cyber security attacks as well.
True.
That's also on the table.
And Iran is pretty good at cyber attacks.
So you've heard. So yeah.
Yeah.
So you've heard. I haven't heard that.
Oh, you've heard differently?
No, I haven't heard anything. I'm hearing for the first time.
Oh, yeah. It's something I read years ago about. It was a paper I read called Strategic Intent of Iran. I think it was, where they evaluated themselves, where they have this big enemy and they are this small country. So what can they put their money into to prepare themselves? So it was talking about cyber warfare. Yeah. But as we can see, there's also been investing in military actual hardware.
Yeah. And in nuclear weaponry as well.
Have they yet?
Well, I know nuclear weapons are...
They haven't yet. They would.
I don't know if they've invested, but I just know that...
They wouldn't be attacked if they've done it.
I just know it's a buzzword in the discourse around the conflict.
They haven't yet.
Yeah.
That's why they are being attacked.
I see.
If they had, they wouldn't be attacked. I think they used to have one and then they disarmed it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
All right, so... Sana, right? So there you have it. This was another episode of Conversations in Literature with Raina Muriithi. And actually this book was edited by Cynthia Abdallah, right?
No, compiled. Read the front, the thingy.
Well, when I say... It's
compiled by Cynthia, but edited.
When I say edited, I meant compiled.
Yes.
Like she was the person
who
in charge of this project.
Coordinated everything, yeah.
Yes, so Cynthia Abdallah, who we interviewed fairly recently, 2 episodes ago. Go and watch it if you haven't watched it. So my name is Eric Rogara. You may know me as Miyamoto Muswahili. This is Conversations in Literature, which is a show on YouTube. Go and follow our channel if you have not, the Roaring Simba Network. Conversations in Literature is sponsored by Nairobi Academic Press. Until next time, can clap.
Okay.